Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our holly jolly humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Merry Christmas Eve, Hour 3 begins now.
Football!
He's awesome. That's AJ Hawk. That was Coach Bruce Arians. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here alongside 12-year NFL vet Super Bowl champion AQ Shipley. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Everybody in the back, great work today, boys.
Workplace.
Now, we're going to wrap this up in beautiful fashion. It's going to be in a fashion of learning more about ball, getting smarter, maybe learning about things that you don't normally hear about. It's time to go, AJ, in the trenches with AQ Shipley.
AQ.
Top 5 performing offensive lines coming out of Week 16 of the NFL season. AQ, who's number 5? Wow.
You guys got to see it up close and personal last night. San Francisco 49ers.
Congratulations, the Niners.
Very good football team, but let's just take note of one of the greatest to ever do it. Let's watch Trent Williams, the left tackle, as he climbs. Watch him block 2 linebackers, not one. Now watch him get off that and get the other one.
That's a hold, it looks like.
Not a hold. He just looks like a spider monkey. The way he moves at his size is unbelievable, but short yardage play. They go 27 zone. Kyle Juszczyk has no one to block because Trent Williams blocks both guys.
This was the play afterwards. Trent's in the huddle looking up at that thing. Makes sense why he was watching. I mean, you should not be able to do that at age 37, let alone the size that he's at. What an absolute monster left tackle.
It's incredible. He's the best of this generation, hands down. We talked about it earlier, 11 Pro Bowls. He's been All-Pro, I think, 3 times, but he's one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
Juszczyk was leading the way there for Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, George Kittle moves body. There's the 89, I think, was another one last night, or 88 maybe was the other one. There's so many tight ends moving bodies. It feels like you have to be, 89 also.
Barrel.
Yeah, okay, so there's just so many people moving bodies last night. You have to be fully committed in this Niners offense, huh?
You have to. And then look at Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings gets a great block there. He's one of the best, if not the best, blocking receiver in football, and I think it's a mentality, it's an attitude, and it's a prereq to play football for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers that everybody has to block.
AJ, they kicked our ass last night, that's for sure. Congrats to them, number 5 offensive line. Yeah. Who's number 4 performing offensive line in Week 16? Wow.
The Philadelphia Eagles, and we will take notice today, the 5 teams in this group, they're all playoff teams. The cream is starting to rise to the crop.
I hope so. It's Week 16.
Yeah, the cream is starting to rise to the crop.
Yeah, no more politicking to get on the top 5 list. Yeah.
No politicking.
Philadelphia Eagles, back-to-back division champs. They certainly have their own home playoff game.
Absolutely. Saquon had over 100, but they had multiple guys run the football well. If we can pause this when the hole opens up, we're going to get a toss play to the left. Look at this thing. First of all, the Commanders stink on defense, but look at the size of that hole to run through. My man Quinn, Quinn is sitting here saying he wants to see them again in 2 weeks because they ran it up a little bit. But listen, they do not want to see this team again because Philly's going to beat the brakes off them again because they stink on defense.
Big, gaping hole. Do they have 11 on the field, D-Butt?
I'm just like, if you pause it, like right here, like you got couple
guys over on the ball.
Couple guys in a row. I mean, that is, I don't know if I've ever seen that on tape.
That's crazy.
What the hell's going on? Isn't Quinn a defensive guy, AJ? What the hell's going on in Washington?
I mean, when things go bad, sometimes it continues to go bad. Everyone's trying to get out of the gap and make a play. It's tough. Defense is tough.
BA, is that physicality there from the Philadelphia Eagles going to have them go back-to-back Super Bowl champions? Are they back to who they're supposed to be?
As long as they can play with the lead. Because they are not a come-from-behind team.
Oh, you're saying a little bit of front-runner situation going on with Philadelphia Eagles?
I definitely think so. I just don't love their passing attack when they're behind.
Okay, if they can keep this thing on the ground, they'll continue to dominate. Their offensive line, top 5 in the NFL. Congrats to them. They were the number 1 offensive line last year in the trenches with AQ. Obviously, still time to do that. Number 3 offensive line. They invested in it in the offseason.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears have been fantastic. I love this group. They're physical. In the cold. They can run it well. But look at the right side right here. Cole Kmet. So it starts with him. Blocking tight end number 85. Watch him arc out. Boom, arc out. Just freezes the DN just a little bit, and then you run old school power. You get Tooney around. You get Colston Loveland. You get the big tray block. Go back, look at Darnell Wright, number 58, in that tray block with Benedette getting up to the second level. That is December football, as you would say, Bruce Arians, right? Just pound the football, old school, power, duo, all that type of stuff. This team is built for that.
December football, BA, what's that mean?
It's time to run the football, but they did a great job of not asking the tight end to block the big defensive end. And that's usually where you fail. You know, a tight end blocking a 290-pound defense, man, that's not a fair fight.
Ben Johnson, though, has the leverage and sets up his guys to be able to block well, right? That's why any Ben Johnson system is going to have a good offensive line, you would assume.
Yeah, no question. It's work smarter, not harder, right? I think that's the biggest key to the really good offensive lines right now. But I used to love my man, Coach Arians. Whenever we'd go play Seattle, we'd walk in on Wednesday. You know what he would say? It's a tight ends, D ends matchup, boys. Get ready, buckle up.
Love everything about it. AJ, Ben Johnson, 1 year getting a physicality culture, and it was good. It's gotten better. Might be the best. You know what I mean? He never let it rest, dude.
I see what you did there. Yeah, with his design, his play design, and how they do play, it is going very, very well for them right now.
Well, and it's only going to get good, better, and then best potentially because it's literally just his first year there. Caleb Williams obviously buying into the system more and more each week. Is that what you're seeing?
He's been fantastic the last couple of weeks. He really is. And I talked to Clyde Christensen yesterday, great quarterback coach, longtime coach. We all know him. He mentioned about the NFC North and the fact that Caleb Williams' arm strength being able to, as you talked about earlier, cut through the wind on some of these things. It looks like it doesn't affect his balls at all.
Yeah, he has
He's got a cannon.
Yeah, he does.
He does, certainly.
Yeah, he does got a hose out there.
Big old hose.
He spins it. Yes, he does. Big, strong hose. Caleb Williams got a big, strong hose. And it looks, it literally.
Balls are unaffected.
Yes,
right.
Balls are unaffected by the wind or anything else, actually, because he's got that big, strong hose coming out there. And that ball seems to levitate. You know, and just right across. It is. He had a 25-yard strike, and it's just
comes out of his hand like a seed.
Might see him later.
It does come out like a seed. Big, strong hose.
Yeah, big, strong hose. Just shoot the seed out there.
And it's just through the sky.
Yep.
Especially if you can play action, suck the guys up, then you use that big, strong hose, and then you deliver the seed. Yeah. And that's what they're doing up there. Ben Johnson also, he knows how to navigate that big, strong hose. You know what I mean? Because he had Jared Goff who had big hoser.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, you move your offense down here, and now you got the little bit of extension, you know, extending the play and stuff like that. And, you know, you can really use full playbook whenever you have that. It's only getting started up there. So we talk about Drake May and Josh McDaniels just getting started. Ben Johnson in Chicago is only getting started. That's crazy to think about. Yeah. And when they started, their first investment were 3 offensive linemen. And now it's paying off, you're saying.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about this ad nauseum. They draft Darnell Wright, but then they go get 3 new guys in the interior of that offensive line. It starts there. You build from there, just like Detroit did. And all of a sudden, you got a good team.
All right, let's go to the number 2 performing offensive line of Week 16 of the NFL season, the Buffalo Bills. Congratulations to the Bills.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills looked awesome, and I liked what they did against this defense. You get an up-the-field penetrating defense. Obviously, Myles Garrett wants to rush the passer, so they took advantage of that. They ran a lot of traps, quick hitters, but they also ran some crack tosses. We used to call this flip at 8. Watch, send the tight end in motion, fake one way, flip the other, but you get the fullback out in front. You get Spencer Brown out in front, McGovern out in front. Look at Big Deion Dawkins. Just made the Pro Bowl. Congrats, Big Deion. Out in front, but all the boys buying in, getting downfield, getting blocks. That's how you get the home run.
You already know with Deion Dawkins, you know, he's up for Offensive Lineman of the Year every single year, makes another Pro Bowl. I think the worry is, does Josh Allen have the team around him to be able to win a Super Bowl? If they let James Cook, that offensive line can do it, huh, B.A.? What are your thoughts on the Buffalo Bills taking a long run?
Yeah, they got everything except a number 1 wide receiver. And if somebody can just emerge, I don't care who it is, as somebody to stop, you're not stopping James Cook.
So they can change the math a little bit. You're hoping that somebody can emerge as somebody that might change the math on the defensive side a little bit, maybe have a little bit of attention on somebody on the outside?
We have to put 2 over there. If you can load the box, if you can shut down their best guy, you're looking at a loaded box all day.
And, ladies and gentlemen, wow.
What?
This is big.
Incredible.
Big. The number 1 offensive line in the NFL for Week 16 of the NFL season in the trenches with AQ Shipley is
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I think Philadelphia Eagles potentially the number 1 offensive line after Week 16 last year. They ended up being the number 1 offensive line in the entire NFL all season in the trenches, and they also won the Super Bowl because their offensive line. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line something that can win games for them over there?
The interesting thing is they've had some injuries, so they've put the backups in. The backups are playing better than the starters, so maybe we need to stay with this left tackle. Dylan Cook, he's been fantastic. Since he has stepped in, he's been great. Spencer Anderson, who's kind of their do-it-all Swiss Army knife, He's big tight end. In this particular picture, he's number 74, so he's the big tight end. But he also started the game at left guard, so anytime they go big package, he moves out to tight end. They bring Andrus Pete in. Sometimes he plays fullback. Sometimes he plays tackle and an unbalanced. I mean, this guy's their Swiss Army, do it all. But it all starts with the steady guy. That's Zach Frazier, the center. Let's take a look at this. Has a great reach block. Right there on the nose guard. Yep, great reach block. Front side, Dylan Cook gets enough of them. Jeez. And then Jalen Warren, see ya later. Look at Frazier running downfield. Boys celebrating. This is old school Pittsburgh football. Connor Hayward was fantastic playing fullback in this game. I mean, they looked really good. And if they can do this, then that opens up. Aaron doesn't want to throw the ball 40 times a game. If Aaron can get a 230-yard rushing day and only have to throw it 15 times, that's what this Pittsburgh Steelers team is made.
Aaron can still chess. Obviously, Dan Orlovsky broke this play down where he had DK run the bubble to get the safety out of there so there's nobody filling the gap from over the top. Jalen Warren breaks through the first layer, and then bang, it's off to the races. The Steelers now becoming an explosive offense through the sky and the ground is certainly alarming if you're another team in the AFC. Let's go to Hammer. Time. Number 1 offensive line in the NFL, Tone.
What an absolute thing of beauty. That's the first time they've ever been on, ever, in any position, 1 through 5. And now week 16, they're number 1.